we do have here in the wild. They were originally brought here for purpose by the early Polynesians and the early Europeans. This is Nuulola Valley here. This will be the beginning of our flight along the beautiful Nepali coastline.
What are the white birds?
The white birds, they're tropics birds, and they're one of two. We have white-tailed and red-tailed tropics. For whatever reason, the red-tailed stay to the coastline, and the white-tailed, you'll find them in the interior of the island. They roost in the cliff walls and the canyons. This first beach down here is called Hanapu. That rock peninsula in the middle has a 90-foot natural rock archway in the middle of it. So you can walk from one side of the beach here to the other through that peninsula. There is no trail out here though to the beach. The only way to access Hanapu Beach legally is to swim to it. There are no vessels allowed, not even a kayak. It's considered a sacred area. And that is because it's believed that the ancient Hawaiians used to bury the bones of their chiefs high up in the cliffs here in Hanapu Valley. So this next beach down here is called Kalalau. There is a trail that comes out to this one called the Kalalau Trail, which leaves from the very the very north tip of the Nepali you can see out in front of us here, and terminates at the beach. So it's a rather difficult hike out here. It's also a permitted hike. So for most people, it's a backpacking trip, and they're coming out here, spending a night or two at the base of this beautiful area out in front of us called Cathedrals. This here is Kalalau Valley. This is the namesake of the beach and the trail, and the largest of the valleys here on the Nepali coast. At one time there were thousands of people that used to live in the valley here. Here to hike back here underneath the foliage, there are still examples that exist of terraced landscaping. It was used to maximize the surface area of the hilly terrain for growing large crops, as well as foundations for structures. The Nepali and Hawaiian means the cliff, or many cliffs. As you can see, they chose a simple yet very appropriate name for this area. We're going to make our way offshore just a little ways, make a little bit of bumpiness crossing over the shoreline. If so, it'll smooth out once we get out over the water. Down there off the right side, that's called Hanakapiai. Very popular hike. The first 2 miles of the Kauai Trail will get you there. And that is as far as you can go these days without a permit. Kauai Trail leaves from the next beach out in front of us here called KA. That's KA Beach, KA Point. And there's a parking lot down there for Hyanna State Park. That's the end of the road if you drive around the north side. If you remember Pulahole Beach, way back there on the west side, that's the end of the road if you drive the opposite direction. You can see there is a lot of coastline here, primarily in the west and northwest side, for most practical purposes, is just not accessible. We're going to make a left 360-degree turn here, and we'll get a nice overview of the Nepali before we start making our way to the North Shore. So I mentioned KA Beach down there. You can see that from this vantage point. The beach just wraps around the point and continues on for miles. This is all one long stretch of beach here. You can walk this entire thing unobstructed. But it is divided up name-wise by geography. So you've got KA wraps around the point and then becomes Hyanna Beach. Hyanna continues down, makes a turn, then becomes Tunnels Beach up by that big beautiful reef. Tunnels continues up to the next point. And around the point, Tunnels becomes Wainiha. And this Tunnels Wainiha area down here, this is where we tend to get the large